you guys talked about wanting to course correct after the OKC loss. What were the areas that you thought you saw improvement tonight?
I think we just played harder, a little more attention to detail. I don't know what word I'm looking for. We executed our game plan a lot better.
You guys had all 5 starters scoring double figures. How much better does that make it for you guys, and how much does it make it a little bit easier on Luka?
When we share the ball like we did tonight, we have so many guys that can, make shots and put points on the board. And, I think as a collective, when everybody's feeling good, shooting the ball well, offensively we're really good, and that translates to our defense being, as good as well. So there's a good day for us, sharing the ball, making the extra pass, just playing unselfish.
What do you like about the way DA played tonight?
DA? Oh, he's a monster. Set the tone early. What was he from the field?
16.
Yeah, like 20 and 16. He was 10-11 from the field. Pretty good day at the office. Plus 35. Luka, Rui, DA, all plus 30. Yeah, so he was monstrous tonight. That's what we expect from him. He said after the game the other night that, he didn't do his job, and that's one thing that he's going to do. He's going to hold himself accountable, and he's going to go try to correct that. And that's what he did.
Sorry, they cut it to single digits. You guys pushed back up to 18. The game is pretty much decided at that point. But because of this NBA Cup structure, you guys are supposed to keep scoring. Is that awkward at all? Is it kind of the normal NBA?
I still, 3 years into it, I still don't know how the, point system works. I feel like if we win every game, regardless of, what, if we win by 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever, we'll get through to the next stage. So, I don't personally like, running up the score late, shooting uncontested layups, and I know that's kind of what the format kind of asks of. I think, if there's 45 seconds left in the game or 30 seconds left in the game, take the shot clock violation and move on. But once again, that's kind of not how the structure wants it to be, I guess. I don't know. So, I don't know. We won.
It's just so if 2 teams are 3-1, right? Then the tiebreaker is the first, or the score. Sorry, the point differential, the first tiebreaker. That's all. So it's kind of like both teams are still, in theory, they wouldn't want to get scored on late either, so they're still pushing.
That makes sense. I think that's kind of how the Olympics, the World Cup was. So I get it. Yeah. So I don't know.
AJ, in the walk-off, Austin just mentioned that you, the second and fourth quarters has to be better. Obviously, you had to go back to the starters early. What did you see in those few minutes from that group, and what does need to get better?
Not important. I think that for us, the fact we got off to a good start for the first time on this trip, that group set the tone to start both halves. We're able to finish the game. The game got a little choppy there with some of the just the physicality on both sides, and but proud of our group, and again, a much better defensive game for us. I thought the 28 assists were huge, and Austin and Luka getting 19 of those. I don't know the exact potential assist numbers, but I know it was high. We were able to get a lot of good looks tonight. So there's a lot to be pleased with, and I thought DA's performance was awesome as well.
Some of the things you've talked about really liking, like the hit-ahead passes, seemed like there were a number of those in the first half, and then just when they blitzed Luka, all the good action you got out of it. How did you feel like that was kind of key throughout for the starters, especially?
Yeah, we executed out of the blitz for the most part, and again, we missed some really good looks. I thought Smart got some great looks, and we're confident with him as a shooter, and he'll knock them down. The early seals in the first half were awesome. DA got one. Rui got one, Jake got one. So, we're really encouraging those guys, our bigger wings and DA, to put early pressure on the rim if they can create a mismatch.
JJ, Luka got off to such a hot and efficient start to the season, and that's ticked down here over the last couple weeks. One, I guess, how encouraged were you with your ability to score the ball tonight as a team despite that? And I guess, what are you seeing in is it just shots not falling right now for him?
But, put a lot of pressure. The last 2 games, they've had all NBA defenders on him. So, we got to do a better job of getting the ball to him, in the right spots, at the nail and on the block. And we tried with some choice stuff, and we tried with some ram flash stuff, and couldn't get the right execution on it. But we'll continue to work at that.
You guys, I think now are through 13 games. I think I looked it up that you guys have only been over 40% from 3 twice this year. I would imagine that's below probably your expected numbers.
Oh yeah, much below.
Yeah. Do you just feel like that's just going to swing back over the course of 82? That's still small sample-y?
Yeah, it's a slow start from 3. If I remember correctly, I think we got off to a slow start from 3 last year. I think there's always stretches of a season where you're not making threes, and there's stretches of a season where you are making threes. Even the best shooting teams, percentage-wise, they're going to have some lulls. And I remember as a player having certain years where I didn't get off to a great start shooting the 3, and the preparation and the belief and your teammates encouraging you to keep shooting, all that stuff is important. So I think our guys will get there.
Toward the end of the game, DeAndre had that moment where he had the ball. Teammates seemed like some of his teammates were telling him to put it up, but typically in those moments, you just hold on to the ball. But in the cup games, point differential is so important. How is that disorienting as a coach or for the players, where point differential is just so important, I guess, in these moments?
Yeah, I think the guys want to win every game, and they want to win every cup game, and they want a chance to compete for the cup championship. That I don't think in the middle of an NBA game really you're thinking about point differential. There's too much stuff going on, and we were telling the guys to shoot on the last possession. But there's always other stuff happening, and I thought the last 4 or 5 minutes, there was a lot of back and forth chatter with the officials, and I think that kind of disrupted the game a little bit.
Marcus had, I think, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. He always kind of brings a lot of those things to the table. Didn't shoot particularly well. I think probably a season high in shot attempts.
Yeah.
What did you make of his 3-point selection tonight?
It was awesome. He had wide open shots. They clearly part of their game plan was to blitz Luka, and similar to how we did a little bit last year. Try to make the ball find certain guys. That's what they were willing to live with. But it just goes to show you how good of a basketball player he is, that he can still impact the game at a high level without making shots. We're good with all the open catch and shoot threes. They were great looks, and I'm confident he's going to make them.
And looking ahead tomorrow, do you anticipate to have everyone available who played tonight?
I would anticipate, yeah.
You guys had 5 starters scored up, all 5 starters scored double figures. How much difficult does that make? How much does that make you guys a better team? Is that something you guys do consistently?
I would think so. You have to run offense, and you have to pass the ball, and you have to take care of the ball. If you do those things, I think the dynamic nature of our best players is going to generate multiple bodies, and other guys are going to be the beneficiaries of that. Our dynamic best players, they've got to make the right decision and be unselfish and make the right pass, and I thought we did that for the most part tonight. Thanks.